You should have spent some time looking at this chart and typing your reflections there, your observations into the graphic organizer that was there on the chart. But a few things that I want to note, that I want to point out here, is that when we look at this data that show students' ability to read a certain number of words per minute, we notice that once a child gets on either the green line or the red line, they tend to stay there. And it's interesting that we don't see many kids that jump from one line to the other. So what does that show for us? What does that mean for us as teachers? If I do want to make an impact on a student, then when do I need to do it? I need to do it early before that gap exists. And you'll see that there, if I want to make sure a child gets on that green line, I need to do that in first or second grade, because as time goes on, that gap only gets wider. And I hope that those will be some of the observations that you have made on our graphic organizer. And with that, I want you to imagine that we are walking, we're on a hike, and the majority of us are up on the top of the canyon. We're enjoying the view. We're walking along, and life is great for us. We're where we need to be. But yet one of our friends maybe is walking down here deep into the canyon. And my question for you is, how can we get our friend out of the canyon? I want you to imagine that these are students, and that the students that are where they need to be, they're on that green line from our previous picture there. They're on the green line. They're up at the top of the canyon. They're where they need to be. They're enjoying their walk. But yet we have students maybe that are not where they need to be. They're down here in the canyon. And how can we get them out? Are they just going to be able to jump from down in the bottom of this canyon to be able to jump up to the top? No. Can we throw down something and just pull them right out? No. What's going to be the easiest way to get them out of the canyon? Hopefully we recognize that in order to do that, it's kind of like taking stair steps, that I need to provide an activity at this lower level where they are so they can step up a little bit more, and then another activity or another activity and another activity to finally get them up to the top of that canyon where they need to be with their peers. That's going to take time. That's going to take a lot of effort, but by providing these activities where our students need to be, they will eventually get to the top where they need to be. Okay? And this week you're going to spend some time learning a little bit more about what is RTI. That's a current trend in education called response to instruction. And we look at the stuff that happens every single day in our classroom. That should meet the needs of about 80% of our students. Those students are in the green. They're on that green line, or they're up at the top of the canyon. Everything that we do every day should meet the needs of most of our students. But we do have some students that will struggle, so they need additional support. And that is the Tier 2 and Tier 3 level support that you see here in this picture. But you will learn a little bit more about that through the activities this week, and also submit a reflection activity to kind of summarize what you've learned this week. Have a great week. If you have any questions, feel free to call or email me.